Is there any disturbance from my side?
No.
No, Shravya, it's clear.
Okay. So we have discussed how these loops work and all in theoretical part. Now we'll be seeing in practical. Okay, so we have two loops, while loop and for loop. So first we'll be seeing how while loop works. So so while loop is until the given condition is true, the code whatever present in the body of this loop will be executed. Okay, so this is the first example. I have a variable I which has a value 1. Now I am taking a condition in while loop. So this is the syntax of while loop, while space followed by condition. My condition or expression here is I less than 5 colon, and then this print whatever I want in my while block. I have given this. So now what happens here is, so until I is less than 5, this will work, or everything present in the body of while will work until this condition is true. That is until I is less than 5. Okay, so this operator is something new to you, right? This is called increment operator, which is similar to, okay, these both are same. In Python we'll be using this operator in short, plus equal to 1. That is, we are incrementing the I value by 1. So okay, first I'll be running this. The output I have got is 1 2 3 4. Since I have given print of I and the condition I less than 5, until I value is not 5, it will be printing the values of I. And now I have used this I plus equal to 1 because I don't want my I value to remain static. That is, if I did not increase this I value, it always remains 1. And this condition is always true in that case. And what happens is that it keeps on printing 1, like infinite loop. It keeps on printing 1 and we cannot break, like we cannot stop that. So, to avoid going into infinite loops, we have to specify increment operators, and also to change value of y, sorry, I. Every time we are using this increment operator, that is increment value, we are increasing the value of I by 1. Okay, so this is how increment operator works. Now, okay, are you clear with the working of this while loop?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay, so in conditional statements we have seen a pass keyword, right? Like that only in loops we have two others. Those are called break and continue. So as I have said, if we did not mention this increment operator, like to change the value of I, the this loop goes into infinite loop. Okay, like it will be running forever. Okay. Uh, in such situations, to avoid, like to come out of the loop, we'll be using a keyword called break. So what this break does is, so break is something similar to, like keyword, which is like pass keyword. So this break, what this does is that it will be stopping the loop. ఓకే. ఇక్కడ వైల్ లూప్‌లో ఉన్న కండిషన్ ట్రూ అయినా కానీ, ఆహ్, ఒకవేళ బ్రేక్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఆ బ్రేక్ అనేది ఇట్ విల్ బ్రేక్ ద లూప్ అండ్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద లూప్. ఓకే. అక్కడితో ఆగిపోతుంది. ఆ ముందు వరకు ఉన్నది మాత్రమే జరుగుతది. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్ బ్రేక్ స్టాప్స్. అండ్ వి హావ్ అనదర్ కీవర్డ్ లైక్ బ్రేక్ విచ్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ కంటిన్యూ. సో ఈ రెండు ఆల్మోస్ట్ సిమిలర్‌గా ఉంటాయి. ఈ కంటిన్యూ ఏం చేస్తదంటే, వన్స్ వి గివ్ కంటిన్యూ, ప్రజెంట్ జరుగుతున్న వర్క్ ఆపేసి ఇట్ విల్ కంటిన్యూ విత్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వర్క్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు జరుగుతున్న ఇటరేషన్ ని స్కిప్ చేసేసి ఇట్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ అగైన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్. ఓకే, సో ఇదే బ్రేక్ కి కంటిన్యూ కి మేజర్ డిఫరెన్స్. బ్రేక్ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే ఇట్ విల్ రన్ ద కరెంట్ ఐటరేషన్ అండ్ ఇట్ విల్ బ్రేక్ ఫ్రమ్ ద లూప్. దాని తర్వాత జరిగేది ఏమి అది వర్క్ అవ్వనివ్వదు. అదే కంటిన్యూ అయితే ప్రెసెంట్ జరుగుతున్న ఐటరేషన్ ఒక్కటే ఆపేసి ఇట్ విల్ కంటిన్యూ విత్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్. Okay, this might be confusing. We'll see the code. So I have taken almost same code but I have changed values. That is I less than 12 now. Okay, in my while loop I have given I less than 12 and I am printing whatever the whatever the value of I is. Next I have given a condition, if condition, that if my I value is 3 and this everything this loop has to break. Okay, if my I value is not 3 then it can increment. Okay, now I'll change these values. 5. So now what will be the output of this code?
4. 1 2 3 4.
Yeah. So this is break. It will be working with the current state, that is current iteration also. That is it will work until I is equal to 5 and it breaks from, that is after I is equal to 5. Okay, so that is why we have got here 5 also. But okay, what if here we have given continue? Guess the output if we have given continue.
5 will skip.
And the output will be our output will be
5 will be skipped and output will be up to 11.
Yeah, right. Oh, sorry, so I should not give print here, I have to give it below. So this is how it falls in like infinite loop. It keeps on running. So I am deleting this. Okay, so ఇందాక కోడ్లో నేను ఏం చేశాను, I have given print statement here. That is I value will be printing, but I should not give there. If I give there, it will be being in infinite loop. So continue తర్వాత I ఇస్తే it will be our desired code. So I'll change this value to 5. So see the output, it has skipped the value 5. That is it will stop the current iteration and it will continue the next one. Okay, so this is a small difference. Small కాదు, జనరల్ గా బ్రేక్ కి కంటిన్యూ కి అందరు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతారు.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
just remember this. Continue అయితే present ది బ్రేక్ చేసి it will continue
Ma'am,
on the
one
next.
second, ma'am.
Ma'am, how can skip more than 2 members?
More than జరగదు, that is depends on the this condition. For loop use చేసి అయితే we can skip whatever we want. We'll see that we can use range function in that. So I'll explain once again. Okay, I have removed the code. So break ఏం చేస్తుందంటే if I have given break here, ఆ ఇటరేషన్ వరకు జరిగి మిగతా తర్వాత ఏం జరగదు. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ గివెన్ ఇటరేషన్ ఇట్ విల్ కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద లూప్. కానీ కంటిన్యూ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే ఆ ఒక్క ఇటరేషన్ ఇప్పుడు జరుగుతున్న వర్క్ ఆపేసి ఇట్ విల్ గో టు ద నెక్స్ట్ వర్క్. అర్థమైందా? దిస్ ఈస్ ద స్మాల్ డిఫరెన్స్.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we have used if else in conditions. అక్కడ ఎల్స్ యూస్ చేసినట్టే ఈ వైల్ తో కూడా మనం ఎల్స్ యూస్ చేయొచ్చు. సో if I want to print something extra, that is like giving more like particular information, then I can use else like I have used in if blocks. So in this code will work until this while loop will work until I is not equal to 6. And once I is equal to 6, I want to print that this I value is no longer 6. So in such situations, we can use our else. That is after this stops working. That is after this condition is false, it will be going into the else part and it will print this. Okay, similar to if else. So this is how you can use your while. Remember the syntax and remember the terminating conditions like incrementing I and all. Otherwise, your loops will be falling into infinite loops. Okay. Once if your loop has fallen into infinite, just delete that cell. Okay. Otherwise, you have to restart everything from first. So that's one of the loops, and the second loop we have seen is for loop. So this for loop has many applications. So what is for loop is that in a given sequence, our sequence can be anything. It can be a few set of numbers, a list, tuple, dictionary, strings, or any data structure or any type. సో ఆ టైప్లో ఆ సీక్వెన్స్లో ఉన్న ప్రతి ఐటెంకి అది వెళ్తుంది. దిస్ లూప్ విల్ బి గోయింగ్ టు ఎవ్రీ ఐటమ్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఇన్ ద సీక్వెన్స్. అండ్ ఇన్ ద బాడీ ఆ బాడీ ఫర్ లూప్ బాడీలో ఏ కోడ్ అయితే ఇస్తామో ఇట్ విల్ బి వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ దట్ ఐటమ్. సో ఫస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, నేను ఒక లిస్ట్ తీసుకున్నాను. ఓకే, ఫ్రూట్స్. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ 3 items in my list and I want to print every item present in the list. So this is the for syntax, that is for, and you can give any item here. Like you can give any word. You can give I, J, or fruit instead of fruits because these both will be clashing. You can give fruit, you can give item, anything. And then in, this is also keyword, followed by fruits because this is our data here. So I have to iterate through this sequence. So I have given fruits here. And don't forget this colon and then enter. I want to print every item present in this sequence. So I am printing this print of y. So it will print whatever present in this sequence. Okay, this is a small application like how to use this for loop. So we have also something important function called range function. So if I want to print my print a sequence of numbers from 100 to 200, or like I want to print some numbers with some pattern, like skipping 2 numbers and printing the other numbers in a sequence. In such cases, we can use range function. So this range function is similar to slicing we have seen in strings. In slicing, so if I want to print a certain range of numbers, I have to use this range function. So we have few modifications in this range function. The default function we have to specify in this way, that is range of n. If I want to print from 0 to 10, I have to give range of 11. Okay, that's because my starting number here is 0 and the range default starting value is 0 and I want to end at 10. So that's the reason I am giving something plus 1, that is ending value plus 1, because it will generate until end value minus 1. That is, if we give here 11, it will just generate only 0 to 10. If I give here 12, it will give until 11. Okay, which is similar to like in slicing we have seen start, stop, step. The stop we have to specify plus 1 extra. So here also same, in range you have to specify just 1 number extra.
Ma'am, with negative values?
negative values, we can give negative step. Like if you want to like reverse order, you can give negative step. And let us see. No, it doesn't work with negative numbers. Like in starting and stop values, you cannot work with negative. Also in step, like this 2, uh, you cannot specify negative also. And if you want in reverse order, you have a function called reversed. Okay. So, okay, we have seen stop value and step value. By default, step value will be 1. Okay, this is also similar to that slicing operator arguments. So if you want to skip 2 values, you have to specify step by 3. So if you want to skip 1 value, you have to specify step by 2. Okay. So now in this function, for x in range of 6, starting value will be 6, ending value I want to print till 12, so I have given till 13. And the step value is 2. That is, I want to skip a number in between every item it's printing. And now I am printing x. So the output I have got is 6, 8, 10, 12. That is, it is giving even numbers. Okay, did you understand how this range works?
It's clear, ma'am.
So this is similar to almost same like slicing, whatever we have seen in slicing, but we are using range in loops. Also, this has many, just practice how to work with range with different values. Okay, so here is another one. Just I did not give any step value, it's by default 1. My start value is 2 and ending value is 5, so I have given 6 here. So it will be printing 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these are examples. And we have seen nested if in conditional statements. In the same way, we can also use this nested loops. That is loop inside a loop. So this is how you have to write. Same, it's almost similar to that condition. Instead of if blocks, we'll be using here loops. So the first set of data I have taken is adjectives. That is red, big, tasty. So the next set of data I have are fruits, apple, banana, and cherry. So now what I want is that I want adjectives, all 3 adjectives for every item in fruits. That is, I want to print red apple, big apple, tasty apple, and then red banana, big banana, and tasty banana. Tasty apple, red cherry, big cherry, tasty cherry. Okay. So in such cases, what you have to do is first the item present in adjective, that is adj. The first one is red, and along with this, I want to print every item present in the second data set. Okay, so this hex, if my present value or in the sequence first points to this item, red. Now, in the second loop, that is for y in fruits, this red gets applied with all these. Okay, like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Like, and if I go to big, it will be like 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. If it points this x go to value this third value, that is third item, it's like 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so did you understand this?
Yes.
I am recording this session, so did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is how we will be writing nested loops. Okay, we have seen these breaks. Okay, guys, these are few additional functions. So in this, I want to calculate the sum of first 5 numbers. So for that, I want sum of first 5. That is, so since I have given here natural numbers, it should not have 0. So I have to start with 1, and since I want the sum up to 5th value, I have to specify 6 here. And since natural numbers that means I want continuous values, so I am leaving the step 5 by default. So for value in range of that is 1 to 6, I want to add these values like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That should be that value, that whole sum should be by output. Okay, so for that, to store value of this sum, I have taken a variable sum with value initial value 0 in it. So what it does is that I have given here sum is equal to sum plus this val. That is initial in first step, this value is 0, and my first item will be 1. Value in range of 1, that is this value, first value will be 1. Now my sum value will be updated to 0 plus 1. That is my sum value, now it is 1. Okay. Now my sum value is 1. And then it will go into this loop again. Now my value, this value will change to 2. And what happens here is my old previous sum value is 1. And this value, this val value is 2. Now it will add plus 2 to sum. That is, it is updating sum value to 3. So in next iteration, my val value will be 3, and sum value will also, this sum value is also 3. That is now 3 plus 3. We have updated sum value as 6. Okay. So now this val value will be pointed to 4. So this will be 4, and our sum value is 6. That is now 6 plus 4, 10. So updated sum value is 10. Now this val value will be 5. That is end item. That is the last value. So this will be 5, and sum is 10. So the last iteration, 10 plus 5. So 15. So the answer you will be getting is 15. This is how you will be doing sum of natural numbers. Okay. So did you understand this code?
Yes.
Okay. At the end we will be printing the whole sum. If you print the sum here for your understanding purpose, you can print here, so that for every iteration how sum value is updating, you can understand from that. Okay, this sum value which is out of the loop will be giving the total value of sum, which is last updated value. Okay guys, this is how we work with loops. Okay.